And the answer, this is standard form, and this is slope-intercept form. Now, what I'm going to illustrate here, and you can follow along, whether it's in the form of questions or just an exercise, is we want to be able to graph an equation that is in standard form, and then later that same equation if it's in slope-intercept form. So let's give a typical example. So we'll say this is 4x plus 3y equals 12. So this now is in standard form. And I'm going to say if they want you to graph something in standard form, one of the typical methods for doing that is to make what I'm calling an X and Y Intercept T-Chart. Now, when it's in this form, what you do is you take the X, put it where the X is in the formula, so it's 4 times 0, X is 0, makes this a 0. So we then have 3y equals 12. And you're going to divide both sides by 3, and you get y then is going to be 4. Now in the next case, when you have y is 0, 3 times 0 is 0, you're going to divide now both sides by 4, because this is a 0. 4x equals 12. Divide both sides by 4, x will be 3. So now we want you to sketch a graph. And we're looking at, in this case, it's our y-intercept. X is 0, so we're going to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put a dot right there. And here, this is your x-intercept. So we're going to go over 3. 1, 2, 3. And put a dot right there. Then we take our straight edge. And of course, this will be nice for you. We end up with the graph of that line. Now remember, there's an infinite number of points along this line. We just happen to pick out the y-intercept there and the x-intercept there. All right, now let's do this same problem using this equation, but we have to put it in slope-intercept form. So in order to do that, we have to solve for the letter y. So I'm going to just pick it up from here. We got 3y on this side. I'm going to transpose this to the other side. That goes over there as a negative 4x. And our 12 stays the same. Now we're going to divide everything by 3. And we get y equals a negative 4/3 x plus 4. Now you may recall we said earlier that b, this b in this formula, is actually your y-intercept, which is right here. So if x is 0, if this is a 0, y equals 4. Now, another technique then for graphing, just to show you when we get to that section, will be, and I guess I could raise it up a little bit. When it's in slope-intercept form, we plot the y-intercept first. 1, 2, 3, 4. We then go and plot our slope, because this letter M, you may recall, is our slope. And what is our slope? Well, it's a -4/3, and that's actually a ratio of y units to x units. That's what slope is. So we have a -3. I could put the negative down here. I like to do it this way. I'm going to go over 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I have a rise. That's my y unit of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And lo and behold, we have pretty much the same graph. So, two different ways to graph. One is, if it's in standard form, use the X and Y intercept T-chart. If it's in slope-intercept form, we plot the y-intercept and then we plot the slope. Now, people have said, could you do it this way too? And the answer is yes. Now remember, here we're using sketching. In MATLAB, you'll have a nice graph and you'll plot one point and then the other, and the line forms. Hopefully this is helpful.